This is Vessel Maneuvering and Handling topic video notes. By the end of this chapter, hopefully you will get used to the terminologies that usually used while on board on a vessel and safety measures in navigation. There will be 7 subchapters from familiarization of vessel landing sites, maneuvering and precautionary action in distress or emergency. This chapter will end with a special additional understanding of transshipment to relate the skill we learn for onboard into the marine world. But for now, we will only focus on the first subchapter, the berthing, moorings and lines. Berth is the term usually used in ports and harbours for a designated location where a vessel may be moored for the purpose of loading and unloading. Berths are designated by the management of a facility like port authorities and harbour master, where they have the power to assign vessel to berth. Harbour is another term used for port and marina, and some other types like dock or floating dock. We can imagine harbour as the place where all of the berthing sites are situated. So berth basically is a vertical front which allows safe and secure mooring. It should be roughly 10% longer than the longest vessel that is expected to berth. For large ports, most berths are placed alongside a quay or a jetty, while small harbours and marinas usually will have a floating dock. Related to the berth is mooring. This topic will focus on the mooring activities, where when the vessel arrives at the berthing site, this is the knowledge and skill that needs to be acquired to secure the vessel. Line will be used to secure vessel to a wharf or to another ship. Wharf is another term used to represent berthing site for a vessel. The line used must be as light as possible for easy handling. However, it also should be strong enough to take considerable strain when coming alongside and to holding a ship in place. If you are wondering, alongside is the term used for a vessel when making landing to the berthing site, which a vessel will be in parallel to the berth. 5 to 6 inch nylon line is the customary material for mooring lines on freight supply and other large vessels. All lines should be neatly coiled or arranged to prevent fouling, to eliminate hazards and to keep the working area clear. This is the example of types of ship moorings. To know this is essential to ease the communication on board so that work and command will be understandable for every crew. The bow line and the stern line lead well up the wharf to reduce the fore and aft motion of the ship. Brass lines are run at the right angle to the keel to prevent a ship from moving away from the wharf, while spring lines leading forward or aft to prevent a vessel from moving aft or forward respectively. And the 2 spring lines placed close together and leading in opposite direction act as a brass line from wharf to ship. There are 3 types of mooring equipment that are usually used at berthing sites, known as cleat, bitts and bollard. All of the lines used will be passing through chocks. The chock will help to reduce the tension or burden incurred by the line or rope while working on it. You may find another types of chocks out there, but these are the types that are usually found on vessels like open, close and roller types. The next part is the line itself. Lines are used to assist in coming alongside or clearing a wharf. Before a ship comes alongside, the required lines with eye splices in the ends should be led outboard through the chocks, safely from the lifeline or rails. Normally, heaving lines, which are light lines with wetted ends, are used on a larger vessel to carry heavier lines to the wharf. However, for small boats, there is rarely any need to use a heaving line. Generally, a seaman can either step ashore with the mooring line or throw it to the short distance required. Heaving line should be passed ashore as soon as possible. The line also should be made fast near the splice, not at the end of the bight, where they may become jammed when the eye is placed over the bollard. Here is another video of how the concept can be applied in a maritime activity. Next is dipping the eye. Dipping the eye is the skill to place many mooring lines with an eye splice on one bollard. By using this technique, even on one bollard will not mess and entangle upon each other. And the other is stopping off a mooring line. When the stopper takes the strain, the turns are thrown off the mooring line and it is made fastened to the beads. This is the video on stopping off a mooring line. For line handling safety, there are three main points which are: first, never stand in the bike. Second, avoid the area of snapback position. And the third, the line strain indicator or tattletales.
A loop, coil, or section of loose line can injure or kill if the line suddenly tightens. These hazards are commonly known as bites. People working near bites need to watch feet and hand placement. Never stand in the bite of a line. Allow a body part to be caught in the bite, or stand near a line that's coming under tension. Pinch points are created where lines meet fixed objects or other lines under tension. The extreme force of a taut line over a metal fitting can catch and crush fingers and hands, toes and feet. Be especially aware of loose gloves or clothing which can be caught at a pinch point. Snapback is potentially the most deadly of all line handling hazards. A worn line, the wrong line, or a line under too much tension can part, snap back, and recoil, striking anything in its path with tremendous force. Always avoid the snapback zone, the likely path of a parted line. A best practice is to paint the snapback zones on the deck plating as a reminder. Snapped lines, which are wrapped around a lead under tension, can be even more deadly, since they can swing around the lead in a larger arc, increasing the snapback zone. And snapped lines, traveling at the velocity of rifle shots, can also bounce and ricochet off solid surfaces, killing on the rebound too.
Some safety tips: in securing alongside a wharf, attention must be paid to the tide. When securing at high water, enough slack must be left in the lines to ensure that at low tide, they will not part and carry away bollard. And in some extreme cases, mistakes could lead the ship to a dangerous degree and even capsize a small vessel. It is crucial to communicate effectively in handling a vessel to ensure all crew achieve their goals. In our case, mooring and line handling. To prevent barrier in communication, all command must be understandable and standardized for every crew. Here are some to explore. Okay, thank you.